All of you, welcome back. I hope you all had lunch and are back with a pen and a book. So today, we're going to do something which all of you have already done before. So please be ready with a pen and a book because this will be there for the next session. And I'm K. Shailaja Rao, soft skill trainer from Aditya Global Business School. For all those of you who are new, hello, and all the others, hi. So let's continue where we left off in the last class. So let's quickly go to the next. We were looking at conjunctions, right? What is a conjunction? It's a word or a group of words that join to words, to phrases, to clauses, or to sentences. So we were looking at different types of conjunctions, that is coordinating and subordinating conjunctions. We actually looked at coordinating conjunctions, which is fanboys acronym. Remember that? If you don't, please write it down now. The acronym fanboy stands for, and, but, or, nor, yes, yet, and so. Fanboys. Remember this acronym and you will know that these are coordinating conjunctions, okay? Generally, coordinating conjunction join to words, to sentences. Two completely independent sentences also can be joined with a conjunction. And today, next we will be actually going to look at, sorry about this, I don't know, we had to do that. Technically, we could have started there, but come on. Yeah, we did this quiz also, remember? Yes, so this is where we stopped. So today we'll continue wherever we stopped. So we finished coordinating conjunctions. Let's look at subordinating conjunctions. So what are subordinating conjunctions? Conjunctions that actually join to phrases or clauses where one clause is a dependent clause. It's not an independent clause or an independent sentence are called. When you join these two, the word that joins them is called a subordinating conjunction. I'll tell you with an example in the next, yeah. This is also coordinating conjunction. So example, the grocery store was closed. So we went to the farmer's market instead. So here the grocery store was closed is an independent sentence, right? You get the full meaning from that. But if I say, so we went to the farmer's market instead. So is there a complete meaning in that? Yes. If you say instead, there is. So we went to the farmer's market instead. So two complete sentences also can be joined by subordinating conjunctions. We'll look at we could have dinner before the movie or we could grab a bite afterwards. These are also examples of coordinating conjunctions. So there are words like however, therefore, and also which are called subordinating conjunctions because they are conjunctive adverbs. I'll tell you with an example, you'll understand better. So what is a subordinating conjunction is which connects a dependent clause and an independent clause. Again, example is better for you to understand. Look at this sentence. Okay, the example started here. The student failed the test. You have the whole meaning here, right? The student failed the test, right? Independent clause. Because she didn't study. Is it a complete sentence? If you say, because I didn't study, because I was hungry, there is something more to that, right? It's a dependent clause. Whenever, because she didn't study, it's not a complete sentence. Whenever you combine these two, it becomes a complete sentence with the whole meaning. Like, the student failed the test because she didn't study. So you get the whole meaning in that. So one is an independent clause and one is a dependent clause. To join them, you use the conjunction because. So because is a subordinating conjunction. Similarly, I was hungry, so I ate a sandwich. If you say, so I ate a sandwich, is it complete? No, I was hungry is a independent clause. But so I ate a sandwich is a dependent clause because it does not give the complete meaning. And here, so is the subordinating conjunction. See here, let's have some more examples for you to understand better. Pay attention because at the end of this class, I have some more quiz questions. Before we left, I had my breakfast. So sometimes subordinating conjunction, this is one thing you can, it's a tip actually. Some sentences can be started with subordinating conjunctions, not so coordinating conjunctions. You cannot start a sentence with and. Okay, some of them you can, of course, but some of them you cannot start a sentence. So remember, subordinating conjunctions can be used to start a sentence. They are not grammatically wrong. Though in writing it's not generally done, but while speaking we can start a sentence with a subordinating conjunction. Like here, before we left home, I had my breakfast. Okay, before is a subordinating conjunction. Provided they come, we can start class on Tuesday. When he was washing my car, I went to the store. This sentence, this part of the sentence, when he was washing my car, does it have the full meaning? No, you're still waiting for more information, right? When he was washing my car, what happened? What happened? Because it doesn't give the whole meaning. But this part of the sentence has the whole meaning. Even if you don't say this, if you just say, I went to the store, it has a complete meaning, right? So that's an independent clause and this is a dependent clause. Similarly, even though the weather was horrible, this is a dependent clause. They still went outside. So this is a dependent clause which is joined by the conjunction even though. So therefore, because, before, when, even though, all these are subordinating conjunctions. I hope you're all writing down, because if you don't write down, it's very difficult to remember, and then in the test you will not be able to revise. So please write down. So many subordinating conjunctions, right? So try to write them down and try to remember them. All these words, why I've marked them every alternate color is to just for you to understand or to see clearly. I've put them in alternate colors so that you can quickly identify them and write them down. There are so many subordinating conjunctions in English. These are words with joined sentences. After, we already saw. After I had breakfast, I went to school. Although I was sick, I came to school. As he was hungry, he ate a sandwich. As soon as he left, the rain started. See, as soon as he left, what? The rain started is a sentence on its own, okay? Or it started raining. Okay, as soon as he left, it started raining. Because any sentence. Because he was hungry, he ate a sandwich. Before they came, we left the city. By the time it was 1, we had to go to college. Even if I'm sick, I go to college. Even though. So like that, all these words actually join sentences. Even if, even though, every time, in the event that. This is also a coordinating conjunction. Just in case your father doesn't come to pick you up, I can give you a lift. Provided that you study hard, you can get a first rank. Okay? Until now, I was always studying at home. So all these are coordinating conjunctions. Let's look at a few of the subordinating conjunctions, so that these are most often used in the English language. We cannot discuss all of them, but generally when these are the main ones. So if you understand how to use these, you will be able to do good in all the others as well. Before we start this, let's have the video, and I'm sure with this video you'll understand a lot better. Note down the points not only from here, even from the video, because they give you good tips. So see the video and try to understand.
Examples: I was alone and sad. In this sentence, the coordinating conjunction and is used to connect a word to another word. Alone and sad. I heard her put something down and switch something on. This time, it connects two phrases. Put something down and switch something on. I cook and my siblings clean the house. In this example, and is used to join two sentences. I cook and my siblings clean the house. Take a look at the following coordinating conjunctions, their meanings and examples. The first one is for. For also means because or one action is the cause of the other. Example: Jane stayed in the jungle for she loves Tarzan. Next is and. And means in addition to. Example: Nemo and Dory are my friends. Nor. Nor means also not. Example: He doesn't have a family, nor does he have a home. But. But means on the contrary. It is used to connect two ideas that are totally different. Example: I can play with them, but Mom said I can watch. Or indicates choice or alternative. Example: What do you want to do first, eat or study? Yet. Yet has similar meaning to but. Example: She didn't study anything, yet she passed the exams. The last one is so. So means as a result. Example: They can't attend my party, so I just had it cancelled. Next are subordinating conjunctions. A subordinating conjunction comes at the beginning of a clause, which makes it dependent to independent process. There are a lot of subordinating conjunctions in English, but some of the most common are since, because, after, while, if, although, before, until, unless, that, and when. You can put the dependent clause at the start or at the end of the sentence. Examples: While I was in college, my younger sister was in high school. While I was in college is our dependent clause. My younger sister was in high school is our independent clause. While here is our subordinating conjunction. Notice that we put a comma after our dependent clause. My younger sister was in high school while I was in college. This time, the dependent clause is at the end of the sentence. If this is the case, a comma is not needed anymore. Another example, if it rains, I won't go to school. I won't go to school if it rains. Some more examples. I will stay with my parents until I graduate. He went to the park after he had finished his homework. I don't leave unless he's asleep. The coordinating conjunctions in these sentences are until, after, and unless. For our exercise, fill the blanks with the correct conjunctions. The first one, I was on my way home when Dad called. Is it that, or, when, or unless? The correct answer is when. I was on my way home when Dad called. Is it a coordinating conjunction or subordinating conjunction? The answer is a subordinating conjunction. The second one, Jamie is a very hardworking student. Blank, she deserves to be the class valedictorian. Is it so, because, nor, or but? The correct answer is so. Jamie is a very hardworking student, so she deserves to be the class valedictorian. Is so a coordinating or a subordinating conjunction? The answer is a coordinating conjunction. The third one, I watched TV blank you left. Is it and, so, after, or while? The answer is after.
Time, children.
I watched TV after you left. Is after a coordinating conjunction or a subordinating conjunction? It is, of course, a subordinating conjunction. The last one, I'll sleep late, blank, I need to study. Is it and, so, because, or what?
So, you got the answers right. I hope all of you got the answers right, because the correct answer was because. Let's go back to our presentation, and we will continue with some more subordinating conjunctions with more examples so you all understand this perfectly. So the most commonly used subordinating conjunctions is what I've got. Like in the previous slide, we saw so many subordinating conjunctions. We use them a lot, but these are used more than the others. Although first you should know the meaning of these conjunctions so that you can use them correctly. In spite of the fact that, although means in spite of something happening, although it was raining, I ran home. He came to work, although he felt sick. Although my mom told me to come home early, I stayed out late. So, as you can see, you can start a sentence with the subordinating conjunction, or you could, when you start a sentence with the subordinating conjunctions like although, you have to make sure that at the end of the dependent clause, you have to use a comma. He came to work, although he felt sick. Okay? Although my mom told me to come home early, I stayed late. Here he came to work although he felt sick. For although he came to work is an independent clause. So you have to use a comma there. Then after. So what do you mean by after? Means subsequently after something happened. Subsequent to that time. Okay, subsequent to the time when something happened. Like, call me after you arrive at the station. Or, we couldn't see the film after the power went off. Or, I always tell my daughter that she can have dessert after she eats her dinner. Maggie could play the piano before she was 5. After he began exercising regularly, Jerry became healthier. So before and after are both subordinating conjunctions. Before, earlier than that time. He had written a living will before he died. Before he contacted me, I was going to call him. I need to finish the report before the manager arrives from Paris. Here you see there's no comma there. So sometimes when you use joining, I need to finish the report, the manager arrives from Paris. So both are independent clauses. When you use that, you don't have to put a comma there. Because means for that reason. Okay, so he became rich because he was smart and worked hard. They stopped building the house because it was raining. I love kittens because they are so cute. You can even write this as, because they are so cute, I love kittens. I won't go out because it's raining. How and if. So, how means the way in which you did something. Tell me how you persuaded Danny to see the film. He explained how he completed it in a few days. How do you use if? If means if in the event something happens, in the event that. So if it is sunny tomorrow, we can go to the park. If it is sunny, if something happens, right? If I receive a promotion, you will be the first to know. If I receive a promotion, I'll give you a party. So if tells you if in the event something happens. Once and since. Once indicates at that moment when something happened, and since means from that time when something happened. Like, once you see him, you will recognize him. Means once, as soon as you see him, you will recognize him. Call me once you start working. Once here does not have any relation to the number. It means to the time when something happens. In the instant something happens. Once you reach there, give me a call. What does it mean? That as soon as you reach there, give me a call. Okay? And similarly, since. Since actually denotes from that point of time till now. I have been a dancer since I was young. Since he graduated, he's been doing nothing. So, since then to now, he's been doing nothing. Coordinating conjunction showing cause. I'll go walking since the school is nearby. Since my school is nearby, or since this school is nearby. So and until. So actually means in order to. I worked hard so I could get a rank, a good rank. Okay? So that she could keep her job, she didn't complain at all. Or he finished his work as fast as possible so that he could leave early. Until means up to that time. Okay? Don't do anything until I come back. They won't allow us to start until everyone arrives. We had to wait until he came to start the party. So the bus was waiting for us until we got on. So until is something which happens up to that time. So it was raining, so I took an umbrella. Cause, effect. So you could use so as it was so hot. It could be used as an adverb also. So shows the degree intensity of heat when you say so. That is an adverb. Okay? Here so is used as a reason, cause, effect. So the difference between that and this. Okay? It was raining, so I took an umbrella. The reason I took an umbrella was that the rain. Unless and when. Unless means except on that condition. You will not pass the exam unless you work hard. Unless you ask her, she will never know. Unless you sleep, you will not feel fresh. So unless is when you do when something, that's the only way that something can be done, or that on that condition only. And when means at that time. When I came in the room, everyone looked at me. I woke up when my baby was crying. I ate when I was very hungry. So when tells you at that time, when something happened. So when a dependent clause precedes an independent clause, there should be a comma between the two. Showing the beginning of an independent clause. However, when the independent clause comes first, there need not be one. We can see this with an example. Okay, there is no example here. Was there one example? Yeah, we could. These are correlative conjunctions. The example is very easy. Because I was sick, I went home early. When you write because I was sick, you have to put a comma. If you write it like, if you put the because I was sick after the independent clause, I went home early because I was sick. You don't need to put a comma there. Simple. So correlative conjunctions. Correlative conjunctions uses a set of words instead of just one word. It's a set of words like neither nor, not only, but also, as soon as, if only. All these are correlative conjunctions. Because to show or contrast or compare equal parts of a sentence, they are generally used to compare. He is not only rich, but he is also kind. You know, telling you that he is equally rich and kind. These conjunctions connect two balanced clauses, phrases, or words. Let's see with examples. Let's look at correlative conjunctions here. Both and. She played both hockey and cricket or basketball when she was a student. You can use both and because you're giving equal importance to hockey and basketball. Either or. I will eat either carrots or peas for dinner. I'll eat either sandwich or pizza for dinner. Neither nor. When neither nor is, as last class I told you, neither nor is used for negative sentences. Like she neither likes coffee nor tea. Or she neither likes milk nor cream cake. Whether or. Do you care whether we have noodles or rice for dinner? Do you care whether he comes home early or not? Not only but also. Not only are we going to paint the outside of the house, but also the inside. Not only was he late, but also he was not properly dressed. Scarcely when. Scarcely had she finished reading when she fell asleep. No sooner than. No sooner did he enter the room than he saw a snake. No sooner had the teacher entered the room, then all the children were quiet. So some more examples with neither. Neither Alex nor Robin can play baseball. I want both ice cream and chocolate. He ate not only the ice cream but also the chocolate. So not only but also neither nor, either or examples. Similarly, either or, both and. We can either go to Greece or Spain for a holiday. It's my final offer. You can either take it or leave it. Equal, right? They tell you the compare or contrast between equal things, okay? Greece or Spain, either take the offer or leave the offer. Both and. Both rugby and football are popular in France. Both English and Welsh are spoken in Wales. Jake not only sells fruits but also vegetables. Not only but also. Neither she, my friends, nor I am going to the picnic. Neither nor. Amy can neither write nor draw on the books in the library. So you can neither draw nor write. Amy is too young to neither write or draw on any books. Whether or. Whether you love them or hate them, you have to admit that the Rolling Stones are very popular. They say either you love them or hate them. You can't ignore them. I'm totally confused. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. That's when that's actually an idiom you use when you don't know what's happening to you. I'm totally confused. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. It doesn't actually mean coming or going. It means whether you don't know what you're doing or why you're doing something. So that's an idiom you use, coming or going. No sooner than. No sooner had I finished watering the garden than it started raining. I'd no sooner lie to you than strangle a puppy. It means as soon as something happened, something else happened. As. Bowling isn't as fun as I thought it would be. Or Peter is as tall as Jeff. A lion can't run as fast as a cheetah. So as and as are also used as subordinating conjunctions to join to equal parts of a sentence. Subject-verb agreement. We must remember this. Before we go to this, let's see the next video.
Independent and dependent clauses. That's what subordinating conjunctions do. But what are these? What is an independent and a dependent clause? Well, okay, so first of all, let's back up again. What is a clause? A clause is just a language chunk that has a subject and a verb. That's what a clause does. All sentences are clauses, but not all clauses are sentences. All right. So all sentences are clauses, but not all clauses are sentences. It's possible to have something that has both a subject and a verb that doesn't stand on its own, and that's a dependent clause. We call that a sentence fragment. What a dependent clause does is provide extra information that isn't necessary to the understanding of the sentence, right? But an independent clause has to be able to stand on its own. So let's take a look at this sentence here. Herbert performed his irresponsible experiments because he was curious. And this sentence is composed of two clauses. In red, we've got this independent clause. Herbert performed his irresponsible experiments. And in green, we have this dependent clause, because he was curious. Now we know that because he was curious is the dependent clause because it explains more of why Herbert did what he did, right? It is explaining the reason for his performing irresponsible experiments. But because he was curious on its own doesn't work as a sentence. He was curious does. That's a sentence. But because he was curious, asks more questions than it answers. Because he was curious what? You know, if a clause causes you to ask, yeah, so what? Then it's probably a dependent clause. Write that down. Put that in a doctrine. So, a dependent clause should cause you to ask, yeah, so what? Because a dependent clause leans against an independent clause. It's like a ladder laid out against the tree. The tree is still going to be standing there whether or not the ladder is there or not, but the ladder is useful because it allows you to get up further into the tree and explore its leaves, if that makes sense. It allows you to get further context and further understanding. But the tree could just as easily, it's still a tree without the ladder, right? You don't have to have a ladder in order to be a tree.
Record చేస్తున్నారా ఇది ఉంటేనే రికార్డింగ్కి వెళ్తుంది.
Alright, so another thing about the difference between a coordinated
So I hope that helped you understand subordinating conjunctions better. What is an independent clause? What is a dependent clause? Whenever a sentence cannot stand on its own, when more information is needed to understand the sentence, then, yeah, so in the previous video we saw that you had to sometimes ask the question, yeah, so what? Yeah, then what? So if that sentence gets you to ask those questions, although I love tea, then what happened? What? So what? I had to drink coffee. So I had to drink coffee is a sentence by itself. It's an independent sentence, right? I had to drink coffee, fine. If I say, although I love tea, that's not a independent sentence. It is a dependent clause. It's a chunk of information which does not have complete meaning on its own until I add the rest of the sentence. So although is the word which joins I love I had to drink coffee although I love tea. Okay, so although is the conjunction which joins these dependent clause and independent clause. What are clauses? Clauses are just chunks of information or chunks of words or pieces of words or some words put together. Sometimes if it's an independent clause, like he said, you know, it's like an independent clause is like a tree where it can stand by itself. And imagine the dependent clause like a ladder that you put onto a tree, which without the ladder, without the tree, the ladder cannot stand on its own. It needs the help of the tree to stand. So a dependent clause is like the ladder, and an independent clause is like the tree, where even if you remove the ladder, it will stand. I did not go to college. As I was sick. So, as is a subordinating conjunction. As tells the reason, right? Because I was sick, as I was sick. So, that's a subordinating conjunction. So, let's look at some subject-verb agreements, something that we have to remember. We did this, right? Subject-verb agreement, that your verb and your subject, they have to be in the same tense. They have to agree with each other for it to be grammatically correct, right? So, when using either or neither, the verb agrees with the second subject, not the first. So, remember, when we're using either or neither as conjunctions in sentences, the verbs, you know, when we are mentioning two verbs or two nouns, the verb has to agree with which noun. Does it agree with the singular noun or the plural noun? So it generally agrees with the second subject, not the first. The second noun, not the first one. Let's look at this with examples. Either my brother, which is singular, or my mum looks after our cat when we are away on holiday. Okay, whenever you know that subject, if it is singular, it takes the verb with an S. So I gave you a tip. Whenever the subject is singular, it needs some company. So the S in the verb is the company for the noun or the subject that is alone. So my brother here doesn't actually matter. Either my brother, if brother is also singular, mom is also singular. So looks either way, even if you say either my mom or my brother looks after the cat when we are away on holiday is correct. Okay, so here the verb look has to agree with my mom. Okay, this is singular. So the verb also has to be in singular form. It has to be a singular verb. Similarly, either my brother or my parents. Here just look, this is a parents. It is plural, right? When it is plural, the verb also has to be plural. So here the plural verb is look, not looks. We did that in subject-verb agreement, right? Whenever we add an S, hates, looks, reads, these are all S for singular subjects or singular nouns, and look, hate, read for plural nouns. So either my brother or my parents look after our cat when we are away on holiday. Neither the manager nor his assistant. Here we are not talking about both, we are talking about either, neither, either this or this, not both. So again, it is singular. So whoever is closer to the verb, the second, this is the second subject. So second subject is singular, singular person, and that's why the verb it takes is singular. So neither the manager nor his assistant is here, or it could even be neither the managers nor his assistant. It can't be neither the managers. So is here. Neither the manager nor his assistants. See, when it is assistants, it takes the here assistants, this is plural. So it takes the singular plural verb. Subject, verb, agreement. They have to agree. And which verb will it take? Will it take a singular verb because the manager is singular? No, it takes the second subject, which is very close to the subject. See, it agrees with the second subject, not the first one, which is very close to the verb. So this is something you have to remember in either or and neither nor. Okay, I hope you all understood these points, and you will remember to do well in the test. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. So I hope by now you all understood about the conjunctions, all the coordinating and subordinating conjunction. The trouble is, don't think of them as which conjunction this is. Just think which will fit this the right way. Okay? So but the thing is, you have to know the meanings of these conjunctions. What does although mean? What does as if mean? What does not only mean? So if you know the meanings correctly, you can put in the right conjunction. So easy way to remember coordinating conjunctions is fanboys. That's no way you'll forget that, right? So, but some conjunctions are adverbs, some conjunctions are prepositions, some conjunctions are adjectives. So what you should remember is English, as he said, is a little funny. You know, they are called adverbs, and then it's used as a conjunction. Doesn't matter. In that situation, it's used as a conjunction. So you'll know when this happens. Like, you know, so it tells you degrees of intensity. It also tells you why something happened, the reason for something happening. So these kind of things are there in English. You will just perfect it with practice. The more you read, the more you do these exercises, you will get better at it. I hope all of you understood this session, and conjunctions are quite simple. They just join sentences. Don't worry about dependent, independent. As you read, you will automatically understand. Don't go by, you know, grammar is just to help you do better, not to stop you from actually doing something. So just start speaking, just start writing, just keep on reading. So that's the way you will get better in English. Okay, I think that's all for this class today. And next class, we're going to do more grammar. See you all till then. Bye.